The guys, what are the keys for a victory here?
Well, Joe, I mean, we have this one player. I mean, it's like having Tom Brady at quarterback in the Super Bowl. We've got Scotty Scheffler. I think the first key is that, and this is going to sound crazy, but I think we should play him in all 5 matches. I'm just throwing it out there. 15 wins in 2 years. We got to get him out there.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
They know the minutia of game time decisions, when to call timeouts, when the kick, go for 2, and all that other stuff better than the head coaches, because the head coaches aren't watching 30, 35 games like sports fans are between college football and the NFL. All the head coaches are doing are watching game films. They may be watching 30 game films, but they're not watching game management. So the fan does know.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Everything changed at that point. They went and got Jonquel Jones, and they really had that triple threat monster team. That second year they lost in the WNBA Finals, 3-1 against the Las Vegas Aces. Year 3, they finally get over the top hump, and you can question whether they should have won the title with that foul call late in Game 5 that sent Breanna Stewart to the foul line.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Live on SportsGrid, right here for a Monday night doubleheader. Kevin Walsh with you as we get set for a battle in the AFC East between a couple of 0-3 teams. For the Miami Dolphins, a loss could potentially mean Mike McDaniel is fired. Tyreek Hill is traded. Who knows what you do with Tua Tagovailoa? A win? Maybe you start to look at that easy schedule, at least the next few weeks, with a bit of hope, a bit of optimism. Hey, why not us? If you're the Dolphins and you win tonight, you'd have the same record as the Baltimore Ravens. Why not us? For the New York Jets, a loss. It's more of the same. It's what the Jets fans have come to know. They don't make the playoffs. They don't have a quarterback. Do they have a coach? And that may be the most damning thing. A loss here tonight, a Dolphins group that clearly has stink on them. It's seen in every one of their spreads. Nobody seems to like this Dolphin team, and you can see why. So if you are the Jets with Justin Fields back under center tonight, get the job done. Get Aaron Glenn his first win. And if you do, maybe you've got your coach. Maybe you've got your quarterback. What I know we have is Joe Lisi with us right here on the Decisions Desk. Joe, it's great to have you. 2.5-point spread, Dolphins-Jets.
Hey, why not us? How about the Jets, baby? I'm telling you, I really like this game tonight, and I know you're going to think I'm absolutely off my rocker. I am.
True.
But if there's one team going to buy in out of both of these 0-3 winless teams, I believe it's the New York Jets with their new head coach, Aaron Glenn. A player that has played in this rivalry. Younger players like Justin Fields, Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, I buy more into that group that has been very competitive outside the loss to the Buffalo Bills. Almost knocked off Pittsburgh, a 3-1 team. Should have knocked off potentially Tampa Bay, a 3-1 team. Covered both of those spreads. And now you're telling me on the road catching 2.5? Why? Because it's Miami? Come on, Kevin.
A lot of
outright.
Listen,
outright.
I don't think as far as house rules I can let should have knocked off Tampa Bay slide.
Well,
come on. Come on.
I mean,
it was 26-13. The game was over. Next
gutty effort, block, kick, return.
Yeah, gutty effort, and then they still lost the game.
But they cover the 6.5. That's
all right. We're not focused.
That's all that matters.
We're not focused on the right.
Right.
I see what you're saying.
2-1 against the number,
which is really all that matters.
Right.
Which is really
exactly
all that matters. And
I really hope the Dolphins lose so they could fire Mike McDaniel. That would be the best thing that happens to this organization.
All right. So I want to ask you about this. Right.
The fact that he's gotten as much shelf life. I mean, not a hint.
So Mike McDaniel is a hot topic, right? And I have ebbs and flows and how I feel with Mike McDaniel, the coach.
Yeah.
And as I've watched these 3 games, I'm now on the other side.
Which is what?
Not only do I not think they should fire
Oh,
Mike McDaniel,
come on.
I think I'd slip him a contract extension.
Are you kidding me?
I'm watching these games.
Oh, come on.
And Tua is throwing interceptions.
That's on him.
That's on who?
On the coach.
Oh, come on.
Come on.
Oh.
No, wait a second.
Now, hold on. Is Mike McDaniel the quarterback or the coach?
Mike McDaniel.
These interceptions,
Mike
Joe.
McDaniel was brought in because Brian Flores was too hard on Tua. I think we forget that fact. Brian Flores was run out of town by the owner because he was too hard on the players.
Okay.
And they brought in the patsy, Mike McDaniel, and he was patting everybody on the back. Great job, wearing the linens. And this is the team that you get. You get a glass house that gets punched in the teeth by bigger, more physical teams, and they break down. They break apart and lose football games. And that's on the top guy.
Look, they do not step up and beat good teams. They've not been able to win a playoff game under Mike McDaniel.
So what more do you need?
Well, Joe, he's not been the coach of this team for 5 years even. Like, when you bring in, this is the thing that I really, and this I mean, if you hire a coach under 40, you got to wait till he's 45.
Yeah, lifetime contract.
Joe, but you're
a lifetime contract?
Joe, then why are you bringing in these young guys?
Because
Joe, he doesn't get 5 years on the job.
5 years.
Yeah.
But these guys are getting $10 million a year.
Okay.
Well, yeah,
so you
$50 million. You know what?
Hold on a second.
You're 333 winning percentage.
Hold on. So let's bring.
Yeah, it's great.
You think if we brought back Brian Flores, this would look better?
I think Brian Flores
would be a wreck.
I think Brian Flores would clean house, and you know what? At least they get a team that tackles, blocks, and at least wants to win.
No, see, and this is
doesn't want to make TikToks playing what I show speed on the weekends. You know, like Cheetah. That's all he cares about. Hey, I'll race you in a 100-meter dare. Who cares? Win football games. Win football games.
But I think, relatively speaking, Mike McDaniel has won football games. They've not won football. Here's what I don't understand about Mike McDaniel. They're 0-3, right? We act like they go 0-3 every year to start the year. He went playoffs. Joe, the story of Mike McDaniel's tenure is Tua can't stay healthy.
No,
and it's a very unfortunate. Joe, when Tua.
He looks healthy tonight.
Hold on, Joe. This is the first time that with a healthy Tua, they're losing football games like this.
Yeah,
this has never happened
But here's
before.
the thing. When Tua was out of the lineup, he couldn't even devise a game plan to get Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill the football with a backup quarterback. That's not on the boy wonder genius, right?
No, listen.
Tyler Huntley comes in and he throws for 100 yards a game.
But hold on. I will say, Mike McDaniel, you'd love to see him get a little bit more at it when it's not Tua. Listen, I know Kyle Shanahan does great things with Brock Purdy, but I've also seen Kyle Shanahan with C.J. Beathard, and those teams go nowhere. Like, you have to have a level of competency at the quarterback position. And right now, they're not getting that from their franchise quarterback.
So he doesn't take any ownership over the mentorship and tutelage of Tua. Since when?
No,
when Tua was putting up numbers, who got all the success? Mike McDaniel. So now that Tua's falling and failing and not putting up numbers, he doesn't get any of the heat.
No, he obviously does get heat, Joe, but I'll put it to you like this. You're going to say get rid of them both. But if you could only get rid of one, I think you'd be making the mistake getting rid of McDaniel.
Well,
I'll say most likely McDaniel's gone, and the next coach has to coach Tua, and that coach will be gone too, but that time with Tua.
Well, what if it's Gruden?
Yeah, done.
I'd rather have Gruden. I'd rather have Brian.
No chance.
I'd rather have Brian Flores over anybody. I'm just saying.
So you want to? I want to hop in a time machine.
I want a coach that predicates physicality on the offense and defensive lines. I don't want to finesse offense.
Mario Cristobal?
You know what?
Mr. Offense and defensive line himself.
I just want a team that shows heart. That when they go up against the Buffalo Bills, they don't crumble. When they go up against the Chiefs, please.
Why didn't you miss to cover the number 4 seconds ago?
They didn't cover against the Chiefs when it mattered a couple of years ago.
But they covered against Buffalo last week. What have you done for me lately?
26-7. 26-7.
How about this? Primetime producer parlay. What do you like? You like this, Joe, or are you going to fade some of this? Breece Hall, 20 receiving yards. Cortland Sutton, 60 receiving yards. Dobbins, anytime touchdown. Primetime producer parlay.
It's a nice look. I'm on Braylon Allen tonight, though.
So you're on the other side.
I'm on the other side.
So you're on.
I'm on Marvin Mims for an anytime.
Really?
Touchdown. Yeah.
I've heard his name a couple places.
Uh-oh.
Really? Interesting. Interesting. So you like the Jets tonight?
I do. Love the Jets.
You like the Jets?
Love the Jets.
You love the Jets. All right. We're going to take a break. Come back with you the start of a Monday night doubleheader on SportsGrid.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
Well, Shadur, which quarterbacks are you talking about? Because there is some bad quarterback play out there, but the dude who can't beat Dylan Gabriel out for a job and can't beat Joe Flacco out for a job certainly can't lay claim to being better than any other quarterback in the league.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
MVP hopes, as far as my eyes can see, out of here. No way. No way. Not with what I'm seeing around this league right now. Josh Allen should be in front of him. He is. Herbert should be in front of him. He's not just yet. Jalen Hurts should be in front of Lamar Jackson. People may not want to hear that, but it's true. Jordan Love is in front of Lamar Jackson. That's a pump the brake special. Come on now.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Major League Baseball has decided it is time to put balls and strikes not just in the hands of the umpires, but also the robot umpires, as they say. The ABS system is now officially in place starting next season. Now, keep in mind, they're not just throwing this out there. They have used this at the Arizona Fall League, and they've also used it at different levels of the minor leagues as well.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
Everything changed at that point. They went and got Jonquel Jones, and they really had that triple threat monster team. That second year they lost in the WNBA Finals, 3-1 against the Las Vegas Aces. Year 3, they finally get over the top hump, and you can question whether they should have won the title with that foul call late in Game 5 that sent Breanna Stewart to the foul line.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
Live.
Nothing better.
Jets, Dolphins, Kevin Walsh, Joe Lisi. 2.5 point spread, 40. We'll call the total 44. You want the ball first?
I do. I want to receive. I want to set the tone in this game.
You were a coach. You would receive the kick each game?
No, it depends on the opponent, depends on how my offense looks. Certain times I would definitely start with the football. Absolutely.
I think you would always start with the football. I know this. Every time you're on the side, you want the ball first.
I do. I don't understand. I hate the defer. I do for the most part. I don't understand what the big deal is of getting the football in the second half is. You might be down 28-0 by that point. If you believe in your offense and you believe in your quarterback specifically, you want to set the tone, especially if you're at home. I want to set the tone. I want to get the home field involved. I don't want to rely on my defense to make a stop. I want to get out there. I want to put up points, and I want to be aggressive. That's the way I coach.
Let me ask you a question. As they flash up Mike McDaniel's record against, basically good teams and then bad teams. The Jets are a bad team.
Correct.
If they did boat race the Jets tonight, that move the needle for you at all?
No.
Why not?
It just doesn't.
You're hot on the Jets.
I am very high on the Jets.
So?
I don't think they're going to boat race them.
I know that, but I'm just saying if they did.
I don't. I'm not sold on this team at all. They are the classic talking to get confidence. I don't believe they believe in themselves. They got cracked around by the Bills. They got cracked around by other teams like the Colts. And I think they're a group that is trying to generate momentum. Weaver, their DC, we got to be violent. You should have been predicating that at the start of the year, not game number 4. And if you're trying to talk it into fruition, now you're going to get beat up. That's just the way I see it.
Dolphins are going to start the football here. One interesting thing for me is somebody who was thinking about playing Miami, backed off, thought about playing the Miami team, total backed off, is underrated, and I get it's early into his tenure, but underrated talking point is that Aaron Glenn is a defensive coach. His defense so far is
terrible.
Not good.
No, not good. Not good at all. No.
To a degree, the Dolphins shouldn't get through their team total tonight, right? Or they shouldn't have 28 points if Aaron Glenn's doing a good job with his defense.
You would think, right? I mean, the game plan is, listen, let's try and play a lower scoring game. They've been in some shootouts.
Yeah.
They haven't been on the right side of that, especially on the road. Tampa, that game was 56 points, 29-27. Week 1 was 63 points. That total was 37.5, 38 in that game.
Yeah.
So I just think from those two outcomes, if you're on the road here, you want to play a lower scoring game. You do want to control the clock. You want to keep Tua on the sidelines. But again, I still think they're going to have success on the Miami Dolphins.
I mean, kid from Fayetteville State. I mean, what do you want? What do you want them to do? I mean, it's Fayetteville State. Double runs to start the game for Mike McDaniel.
Yeah, he's a genius.
That's not to your liking. You're an open it up kind of guy.
Again, are they hurt? Are they hurt? Waddle, Hill, are they hurt?
No.
You got two Ferraris. Why not use them? I don't.
Right.
Again, I don't understand what the mentality is. If you're 100% healthy, you're supposed to have a franchise guy in Tua. Throw the football. Now they scraped Darren Waller off the street. He doesn't want to be a rapper anymore.
No love for you for Waller in the props game?
Again, no, 8.5 was his total.
I mean, that's pretty low.
Yeah, there he is. He got through it.
Just threw his number already.
Threw his number.
Oh, that's a classic Lisi look. You gotta.
Yeah,
Nah, come on. You gotta be on that.
When he was on the Giants, he had a couple of poor performances.
That burned you?
Yeah, burned me.
Okay.
But again,
did you play anyone in the props market?
I did. I took Waddle. Threw his number. I think it was 50.5, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, around that.
I'm on Braylon Allen rushing.
Yeah.
30 plus a plus 136.
You think he could still take over that backfield?
I think he can eventually. I'm on Justin Fields. I think he could throw it 225 plus, and then threw his number of 183.5.
Yeah.
And then anytime touchdown, Garrett Wilson.
I think Garrett Wilson's one of the. I'm very excited to watch Garrett Wilson tonight. Garrett Wilson's having a really, really nice start to his season. We talk about the best wide receivers in football, and Garrett was, I think, in a lot of places kind of pushed to the side in those convos. But he's off to a nice start so far, 229, 2 touchdowns, 21 receptions. If he can get another, 70, 80 yards on the board, he'll be around that top 10 in receiving yards through the first 4 weeks of the season. So I think, and again, no matter what you think of Justin Fields, no one's going to call him a premier passer. Gary Wilson, if he has another 1,000 yards, I mean, that's impressive.
It is. The quarterback to wide receiver relationship is there with Fields and Garrett Wilson. They played together in college. There's no doubt that Justin Fields believes in Garrett Wilson, especially in the clutch, right? Mm-hmm. So I think he'll go to him tonight. Now, the secondary options were limited in multiple markets tonight. Mason Taylor, Breece Hall. Outside of that, you weren't getting any type of numbers on basically secondary guys. Hopefully, as this game progresses, maybe we can jump in. But I still buy into the Jets. I think they have more of an identity right now than the Dolphins. But, again, Dolphins are at home. They should win. We'll see if they step up.
Dolphins have picked up a pair of 3rd and 7s here to start this football game. One to Darren Waller, another to Tyreek Hill. So Jets doing a good job on early downs, not a good job on 3rd down. I do think, though, to your point, Mike McDaniel, run game's not going early. You need to be throwing on 1st and 2nd right now. That's where you're creating chunk plays.
Yeah, you have two speedsters on the outside.
Yep.
Throw on 1st and 2nd down. Don't be predictable. You can run later in the matchup.
Yeah.
Again, if they have success throwing the football, I don't know what that was. That was absolutely atrocious. But again,
I don't even know if that was a screen. I don't know if that was to the flat.
Terrible.
I could not tell what that was supposed to be.
We'll see. Are the first couple of 10 to 15 plays scripted? If that's possible.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they are. They don't look. It's not looked clean. They've moved the ball. They're, I think, in field goal range right now. So we'll see how they finish this off. We're coming up against the break. Don't forget, in-game live coverage throughout this Monday night doubleheader. We're back with you live on SportsGrid.
Looking for an edge in betting football? Injuries can make or break a game. Get insider knowledge from Dr. David Chow and the team of experts with Sick Picks at Sports Injury Central. We reveal hidden health-based advantages the sports books miss. Our doctors provide insights, and our algorithm tells you who to bet on. Spreads, props, totals, in-game bets, Sick Picks covers it all. Go to SickScore.com and sign up for Sick Picks and use the promo code SportsGrid for a free week today.
Football contest season is back, and so is the Las Vegas Football Contest Show, Season 2, the sharpest football contest show in the land. Focusing on all 3 Circus Sports contests and the Westgate Superbook Super Contest, we handicap the games and release our contest picks every week of the season. Featuring Super Contest champions Brady Cannon, James Salinas, and former NFL player Mike Pritchard, all team will have you prepared this season like none other. Check us out every weekend right here on SportsGrid.
It's the most beautiful time of the year. No, not because of foliage or pumpkin spice lattes. It's because of football. SportsGrid has you covered all season long, covering every snap, every score, and every line move. Prepare, watch, win. Weekends are for winners. Only on SportsGrid.
All right, here we go. We're back on SportsGrid, and I'm going to I'll tell you what. Oh, what's that, a molehill? Oh, look at that. It's a mountain. I do not understand this. I do not understand this, okay? Because I lost on this. People are going to say, Kevin, it's 7 yards first quarter. It's not going to matter. Cut it out, okay? If you say that, you're not in the mix enough. Sunday Night Football last week, Giants-Chiefs. Rashad Smith catches a ball from Pat Mahomes for 8 yards. Next play, it's a 30-yarder. He's up to 232 passing, all right? And then as you like, the red phone buzzed in. I think that was a run by Rashad Smith. Thank you. Down to 224. Mahomes doesn't get to 225. We clip a parlay, right? It goes the wrong way on it. Okay, it happens. The Devon A-Chain play. Did anybody at home on the screen pass that Tua threw to him think, what a run by A-Chain? Well, apparently, the guy doing the grading book did. I don't understand that show.
Don't throw bubble screens. I hate them.
Don't do that. But honey, I'm
honey? Yeah.
Hold on. Joe, I'm being serious, right? Where all of these things matter.
Yeah, I know they matter. I know.
Joe, Who is the person watching that?
Why can't you get a replay? Why can't you get the yellow lineup and see if it was
if it was 50-50? I'd probably lean pass, considering the quarterback threw it to him. Like, they're not running laterals. Mike McDaniel in installs not like, hey, I got a couple of run plays here where Tua throws it directly to the guy. I don't understand that stuff. And it makes a difference in these props. It just does.
No, I agree with you. It does. Everything is graded now. Everything
it's so weird.
And this is what happens when you can bet on everything, right? Because the scorekeeper,
right.
They're not thinking and they're not involved the way they should be. And that is the issue. That is the issue.
But here's my biggest issue. I know I'm harping on this, but you said, Joe, you can bet on everything. You know people bet Devon Achane to catch a pass on that drive.
This is
right?
But this is the problem. The league needs to get on the phone and make that call. Are you sure it was a run? Are you sure? But they're not doing that.
Right.
What bothers me is that we have an instant replay where on the first replay, we see that the guy dropped the pass. 14 minutes later, we're breaking down. Did he catch it? Did he not? I mean, you have to be a complete moron if we're still going through replays on different angles.
Here's what I would
But this is the league.
No, but here's what I would just
Where's
say.
Mike Pereira when you need him?
Let's just say I'm on Achane's rushing, right? And
where's Dean Blandino?
Just give me a second. Let's just say it was on his rushing, right? And they called that a pass.
Yes.
And I go, Joe, I'm telling you that was behind the line. Kev, cut it out. Okay? Like, I'd sound nuts. If I was trying to complain that play was clear, I would sound crazy. So who is the jabron up there?
Well, why can't we get that person? But that is my point.
Like, if you want to go back and stat correct it, but, like, you should lean on the obvious thing. It's Jets football. It's 3-0. Numbers barely moved. It, off of that opening drive because it's a field goal drive. Didn't take a lot of time. So things are sitting pretty steady. But it's very annoying to me. It's very, very frustrating.
But this is why, that I would like to interview Dean Blandino and Mike Pereira and all these wheels. But I'm serious. How can you sit there and say that this is not a catch and this is a catch? That's a lateral. You have to be completely clueless.
It's just weird. Yeah.
There's no consistency.
Again, like, who is the grading guy?
I'll tell you what.
Pretty sure that
let me ask you this. In college, like in the ACC, there's Big Braylon Allen. Look at the guy. He's still going. In the ACC, you could listen into instant replay. Why can't we do that with the NFL on a consistent basis?
So
but why can't we do it?
But here's my thing, right, Joe? Like, listen,
you can't interview the refs.
I know it's the NFL, but I'm just saying, like, I know a guy who used to do books for basketball games at Temple, and knowing that person, and it's like, if that's the caliber of people that are making these decisions, I'm starting to get worried about.
Yeah, well, you should.
You
should be worried.
Fields running all over the place, in fact.
Kid's a winner. Kid's a winner.
You do that again.
He is.
But you did
what was his record last year? 4-2.
You did
Kid
that.
was a winner.
He reminds me of Hurts, the Super Bowl MVP, a real winner.
No.
You said that.
He took his team to a national championship.
You said that.
What
was the score of that game?
52-28. I think they got blitzed.
28? Did they get up to 20?
Yeah. They got.
No.
Google it. They got up.
I was on the over in that game.
They were 72. They came up to 76 in that.
I had a co-host who was secretly rooting against me on that total. You know that?
No.
He knows that too. That's all right. Don't worry about it. First down Jets. Offense looks crisp. Crisp.
Love it.
Let me see
Anthony Weaver, all talk, no action.
52-24. You almost had it. All right, quick break. Jets are driving. We'll update you on the numbers and the catches and the runs. It's all happening next. Hold on.
Two favorites are still the two favorites. So for me, it's just whether or not you got Herbert at a better price or if you think there's a better price to get at this point. But I mean, with the way Josh Allen plays and generally Lamar Jackson, it still does appear to be a two-player race. The only thing, obviously, this is an injury league, Adam, and in the NFL, an injury that keeps you out 4 or 5 games all of a sudden those odds will shift.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Talk to me. Who are some of the guys? What are the keys for a victory here?
Well, Joe, I mean, we have this one player. I mean, it's like having Tom Brady at quarterback in the Super Bowl. We've got Scotty Scheffler. I think the first key is that, and this is going to sound crazy, but I think we should play him in all 5 matches. I'm just throwing it out there. 15 wins in 2 years. We got to get him out there.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
They know the minutia of game time decisions, when to call timeouts, when the kick, go for 2, and all that other stuff better than the head coaches, because the head coaches aren't watching 30, 35 games like sports fans are between college football and the NFL. All the head coaches are doing are watching game films. They may be watching 30 game films, but they're not watching game management. So the fan does know.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Everything changed at that point. They went and got Jonquel Jones, and they really had that triple threat monster team. That second year they lost in the WNBA Finals, 3-1 against the Las Vegas Aces. Year 3, they finally get over the top hump. And you can question whether they should have won the title with that foul call late in Game 5 that sent Breanna Stewart to the foul line.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
In-game live with you for a Monday night where the New York Jets, down 3-0, have flipped to favorites, Joe. Justin Fields running wild.
Kid's a gamer. He's a gamer. He's a better quarterback than many people give him credit for. I'll just say that. He is. He is. He'd be on my team. If I was a GM, I'd have him.
Yeah?
Yeah.
As a backup?
No, starter.
No.
QB1.
It's QB1. So you'd be the Jets.
They got talent.
You love this team.
I do.
Braylon Allen running well to start the night for you?
He is. Bigger back, getting some carries, right?
3 carries for 29 yards for Justin Fields, 3 carries for 25 yards for Braylon Allen, 2 for 11 for Breece Hall. As a team, 8 carries, 8.1 per.
That's what you want to see. Take the time off the clock, keep Tua on the sidelines, and play with a lead in the first half. And that's what they're doing right now. I have no problem with the offensive game plan for the Jets. Don't force throws. Take what they give you and try and beat this team down the middle. And I mean in the rushing
line.
They can't stop the run, Miami. They're terrible.
And look, Fields brings an element to the ground that is really difficult to stop. Nice tendency breaker there on a 3rd and 5, Joe, to run it with what is, I think, probably seen as more of a catching back, and Isaiah Davis there picks up the first down. I like that play call a lot.
Listen, you're in the red zone. You have a team on the heels. They're thinking pass.
Yeah.
Offensive line's getting a push. I like the way they're playing right now. Again, they're confident. Fields comes back. He's confident. The team, again, they're a young football team. I keep telling you. Aaron Glenn, first-year coach, understands the rivalry. He does. And that's why I think it means more to the Jets than it does the Dolphins. The Dolphins, I think half the players are checked out at this point.
What do you think, as I think it's going to be a timeout for the Jets or delay a game, what do you think, Joe, let's see here. Oh, wow, delay a game. That's
you can't
really
do
bad.
That.
Joe, if it is a touchdown for the Jets on this drive, what do you think the number goes to? 2.5 for Jets or 3.5?
Probably, I would give I would probably say 3.5.
I can't. It's one of those, again, like in live betting, they just don't do flat numbers. Like, I think they'd rather pop it at a steady 3. It'd be like
3.5.
Who's laying 3.5 with the Jets off a touchdown? You know what I mean? Like, who's coming in and going like, oh, Jets got them where they want them, kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. I think it's very interesting. I wonder if that's going to be on Miami because there was a helmet off, right?
No, I thought he hit him in the face.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think that
he slapped him in the face.
That would be a fresh set of downs here.
Yeah, automatic first down. And
touchdown-wise, Jets, who do you need?
Garrett.
I wouldn't mind Breece to get in.
I tell you what.
I would not mind Breece to get in.
I'm kicking myself knowing the carries now. I would have liked to take Braylon Allen on the ground, but
I thought you did take Braylon Allen on the ground.
Yards, not touchdowns.
Oh, I see.
Just the way he's playing right now.
Yeah, I do think. Listen, I'm not saying it's the number one priority, but at some point, if you're the Jets, you do have to let Breece Hall get a look here in the red zone. Breece hasn't scored yet. You have to. Breece Hall's still important enough to this football team that it should. The season can't end with Braylon Allen 13 touchdowns. Breece Hall 1. It just can't be what it is.
Right, it can't. But I did tell you this. Last year we got into this argument.
Yeah, you were wrong.
I was right.
No, you weren't.
Please.
You said he was going to be able to lead back. Oh, is that Breece? Breece Lightning. Whoa, Breece Lightning.
Quick first quarter.
Yeah, flying. Possession. I mean, unless it's a 3-and-out for Miami, you may not see more than 2 full possessions in the first quarter.
Yeah.
But points.
Do you like the way Miami's playing right now?
I mean, defensively, they're a bit of a mess, which is what we've seen with this football team. Again, just with the McDaniel blame, obviously, I'm not as harsh on him as you are.
Yeah, but like the players they have, Phillips, all these guys, when they got rid of Christian Wilkins, the emotional leader, and he left, I feel like the defense basically just slowed demise. Braylon Allen in there!
Oh! Wow, that is a total killer. Dolphins on the football.
Oh!
That is an absolute killer for the total. Drive took ages. Inside the 5. Braylon Allen, I mean, he might have just lost his job. Well, I'm just saying.
I need him for 3 yards.
Well, I'll tell you right now, Miami goes 2.5, but at minus 136. I'm a little surprised they didn't go 3.5. I bet you what a play there by 2-3. Total drips down to 38.5. Here's the thing. I'm not trying to I wouldn't play that over right now.
No.
Because the Jets are going to run. If Miami's a long drive here, who knows? They're inside the 5. What's the first half total?
Well, you want to take under?
I'll zag on 16.5.
Seems high.
Yeah, but it's 2 touchdowns. We don't
Nah.
You don't get 2 touchdowns here? I don't think that's terrible.
Yeah.
You don't like it. You're out.
He's got 20. They didn't give him the 3. Where'd they recover that? I thought it was 3 yards from where they recovered. They didn't give him the yards on the ground?
It said he picked up 5. Braylon Allen, right guard, for 5 yards. I don't know. Why is he still at 26? And he was at, 25?
Yeah.
So they're saying he only picked up a yard?
Look like they recovered. I don't know.
I don't know. I totally get what you're saying, and I do love it. Every yard counts. Well, what do you need him for?
30.
He might be done, though.
Thanks. That's what happened with me, Nate Frazier, on Saturday night.
Oh, yeah?
Rips off one run, 30 yards. Fumbles the next play. Doesn't see the field the rest of the way. Georgia rushed for over 125 yards on the ground. Nate Frazier had 0.
How many
Bowens.
I mean, how many times in the history of that program they run for 200 at home and lose?
That was the first time.
In the history of the program? No, because I know that you have the 200-yard stat that they don't lose when they go for 2.
No, they don't lose when they rush for 200.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They were 51-0 since 2016.
Right. And I'm saying, if we add on at home, in the history of the program, I mean, it's got to be, because they don't lose, obviously, there. So Braylon Allen, Lisi, this is an interesting one. This is a really interesting one.
Yeah.
He's at 26. We kind of think he should have more, but he's at 26.
His number's 26.5.
No, remember the James Cook night? They have him booked at 39.5. With what we saw,
he should blow through that.
But do they hold the fumble against him?
I hope not.
I understand you hope not.
I hope not.
If it was me, right. If it was me, I actually, next time we get the ball, I give him the first carry. And I say, get your head back into the game. Breece goes up to 58.5. Look, I think the books they might take some touches away from him.
Could they get a safety here, the Jets? I'm curious.
You know what I would want to? I'm going to keep looking. A safety.
How
about a Devon A. Chain?
How many runs they going to?
Who was that on? That's Ollie. I thought it said number 3 for a second.
Ollie Gordon's total tonight was very low.
20s or so, 25 and a half.
And
maybe?
then total carry 7.5.
But see, that's high.
Plus 102 to
when you
the
think
over.
about it, though, Joe. If he gets 8 carries,
Look,
you're not going to get 30 yards.
Yeah.
He said, hey, listen, keep your head in it. A lot of cheering from you rest of the game.
I love that. Great coaching style by Aaron Glenn.
They do.
Coach him up.
Oh, so can I just throw this to you? Because it's locked.
Good.
4 carries for Braylon Allen. At DK, 8.5 is the number. Straight, 120 over, 110 under. They're not sure what to. I think there's a little uncertainty.
All right.
On,
so I guess we'll see.
On what to do with that.
They give him the first here, Tyreek.
Yeah, I think that's
so. It's all Tyreek, no Jalen right now. He went to Waddle on the third down.
3 passes. I'm just saying though, you know what I mean. Like it's not
66% of went to Tyreek.
Well, yeah, it would be lower if they counted that Devon A-Chain play correctly.
There you go.
Just saying.
That was definitely a run.
How about it? Yeah, man.
Gave him the first down.
Oh, it's good to have you back.
It is good, right?
It is good.
I hate these uniforms, by the way.
Oh, really?
Ugly.
A lot of people like them.
Nah, I don't like them.
Is that what makes you too popular?
Nah, they're ugly.
We're going to take a break. We'll be right back here. End of the first quarter. Dolphins, Jets on SportsGrid.
Two favorites are still the two favorites. So for me, it's just whether or not you got Herbert at a better price or if you think there's a better price to get at this point. But I mean, with the way Josh Allen plays and generally Lamar Jackson, it still does appear to be a 2-player race. The only thing, obviously, this is an injury league, Adam. And in the NFL, an injury that keeps you out 4 or 5 games, all of a sudden, those odds will shift.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Talk to me. Who are some of the guys? What are the keys for a victory here?
Well, Joe, I mean, we have this one player. I mean, it's like having Tom Brady at quarterback in the Super Bowl. We've got Scotty Scheffler. I think the first key is that, and this is going to sound crazy, but I think we should play him in all 5 matches. I'm just throwing it out there. 15 wins in 2 years. We got to get him out there.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
They know the minutia of game time decisions, when to call timeouts, when the kick, go for 2, and all that other stuff better than the head coaches, because the head coaches aren't watching 30, 35 games like sports fans are between college football and the NFL. All the head coaches are doing are watching game films. They may be watching 30 game films, but they're not watching game management. So the fan does know.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Everything changed at that point. They went and got Jonquel Jones, and they really had that triple threat monster team. That second year they lost in the WNBA Finals, 3 games to 1 against the Las Vegas Aces. Year 3, they finally get over the top hump. And you can question whether they should have won the title with that foul call late in Game 5 that sent Breanna Stewart to the foul line.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Quarter number 1 comes to a close. 3-0 Miami leads. Live total 36.5 on one shop. Looks like that number is going to be maybe 37.5 on another. You're looking pretty much at a 3.5 to 2.5 point spread here. All varying really between the books and how they want to play this one, Joe. And as far as the first quarter goes, Tua through the air has completed 4 passes, 3 of them to Tyreek Hill for 28 yards. A-Chains looked all right on the ground, 6 for 26. Jets' rush attack was fantastic. It's the Braylon Allen fumble that's the story of the opening quarter.
It really is. They should be up 7-3 if you think about it, because he was going into the end zone. But right now, I still believe in the Jets' rushing attack. I mean, if you're looking at Miami, every throw is short to intermediate, underneath coverage. They haven't taken a deep shot yet. And I don't know if Tua looks that great right now. I mean, he looks good, just the short ball, but he doesn't. I don't know. They don't seem to have a lot of zip on them, do they? I don't. I mean, from what I saw, I mean, I don't know. We'll see if he could take a deep shot. I want to see a deep shot, 25, 30 yards on a dime to the outside the hashes. Show me that, and I'll buy in. Right now, everything's been a slant, 10-yard out, everything, a dig route, everything underneath. I haven't seen one deep shot yet.
So I feel that, yes, the Dolphins at their best are hitting, the 50, the 60-yarders. But I do think for this game, if you're Tua, you are trying to protect the football. And I think if you're Mike McDaniel, that's why we're seeing a lot of this running tonight. Not, the Devon Achane, rush attempts 13.5. I mean, he had 6 in that opening quarter. It's a lot of Devon Achane. It's a lot of running right now. And these throws, Tyreek's just wide open. I mean, he's getting open again. You and I have talked about this actually quite a bit. And I don't think a win here tonight is going to change this. If Tyreek Hill is available, that is one of the biggest things that can happen this whole season.
At 0-4, are they shopping him?
I think at 0-4, him being traded is inevitable. I'm not saying he's gone before week 5, but there's just no recoming. There's just no coming back from that.
Yeah, and not only that, at 0-4, he's going to start to check out.
100%. Yeah, and here's the thing. Here, at the end of the day, we got a 4-0 wide receiver checking out in A.J. Brown. So Tyreek Hill, and people are defending A.J. Brown, so who's going to blame Tyreek Hill for checking out at 0-4, right?
No,
I mean, people are going to say he should have checked out earlier.
There he
He's
is
not
again.
checked out tonight, though. Oh my. He's doing the thing right now.
He is.
I mean, what's he up to, 50 on that play?
He's got to be.
56. That's a 28-yarder. But and it's open and easy. I mean,
It's he's coming across the middle. Look,
it's a rollout, Joe. It's how many levels do you want to go to? Why are you biting this hard on an Ollie Gordon run? I mean, goodness, they're lucky that this didn't get housed in a way. Look how much grass was there.
Yeah. I mean, again, they're doing it now with short to intermediate throws. They're opening things up. We'll see if they'll open up the rushing attack a little bit later. I will say the Jets' defense, for the most part, giving up a lot of chunk yards in the 30s.
Oh, wow.
That kills you every time. But red zone defense was good, right? Because the play calling changed for McDaniel second time around, because I thought they were a little conservative in the first drive.
For me, and that was a bad snap. He couldn't handle it. If this ends up, because now you're, 2nd and 15?
Yeah.
If this ends up a punt.
Dead under.
But at some point we're going to have to jump in, because both teams are moving the football. If we go, if fumbles kill a pair of drive.
What number, 31?
Problem is, if they did punt, the Jets are going to run the football. They might have the ball the rest of the night.
I would say I wouldn't feel confident until high 20s.
I hear you. I wouldn't be. I'm not running to it, but I'm curious what you do.
Now
with
you got a 3rd and 10.
Yeah, a 3rd and 10.
And this drive looked fantastic early on.
Yeah.
And it's your jump. Now they have converted 2 of 2 on 3rd downs.
Yes.
So.
Well, it can't be, right? Because they kicked a field goal. So
2
or 3 has to be. Yeah.
So we'll see.
I can't remember the 3rd down that they didn't get to have to settle for the 3.
I think did they run it?
I think it was after Achane, so I was just complaining the whole time. I think it was a short pass that didn't get there to Waddle, maybe. I'll look it up after the fact. So a 3rd and 10 here. Ball's at the 46-yard line. If you get 6 yards, you might be going. They got a lot more than 6.
Waddle.
Though. There's your guy, Jalen Waddle.
All right, that's it. That's what I want to see.
On
he
his
looks
second
good.
target of the night,
he looks great. He looks great this
Well, now
Tua.
you've got Tyreek with a 28-yard reception, Waddle with a 25-yard reception, and all of a sudden here,
things are starting to cook.
Yep. And they're converting 3rd and longs. Now, look, that's a dangerous way to make your life, to make a living. To convert 3rd and 7, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 10, but they're doing it right now, Joe.
They are. I will say, if you're the Jets, you're trying to hold them to a field goal.
Yeah.
I want to see exactly if they change it up in the second half. Do they start to open up the run? Because now they're starting to stretch them a little bit.
Yeah, I think what's difficult. Now, look, I don't want to. Oh, wow. What a little bit of trickery that is there.
Washington, right?
No look behind the back. Tua did that. Mahomes is going to be throwing his remote at his TV that he didn't get to do that first. He's going to be upset. He's going to be upset. He's going to be in Andy's office tomorrow. Look at this. If this was Pat Mahomes, they would have walked out. They would have stopped the game like it was Drew Brees and handed him the MVP if he did that right there. Look at this play. Wow.
I thought it looked like a fumble on.
Pat's going to tell him to install it, but he throws it between his legs. He's got to find a way to one-up him. He's not going to be happy.
Boy.
Maybe Cooper Rush can run that next week against the Texans. A lot of Ollie Gordon now up the middle here. Tackle him. All right.
Ollie Gordon. What was his number for a touchdown today?
I don't know. You missed a jackpot. You didn't have it?
Not tonight. I looked at it.
Yeah.
I did. And I'm like,
Could have had an A-chain, Braylon Allen, 1-2
This
punch.
is good, though, for the props because now the Jets have to.
Do they?
Well, I don't think they're just going to run it. I think they will. They had success on.
Good, though. That's the problem.
But they still, I think Fields will put up some numbers. I'm still confident in the Jets. They score here. What are the Jets? 8.5?
No. I think 6.5. I think 6.5, but expensive on Miami is my guess.
Yeah.
Terrible play call.
Yeah. There we go. Third down now.
I will say.
Second down.
Stuff like that bothers me always.
Why?
When your personnel makes you predictable. My biggest pet peeve, I think, right now in football, is that when the Ravens are in the 2-minute drill, they refuse to put in Derrick Henry.
But did you see Henry got through his number in a big way? 15 receiving yards yesterday.
Joe, he can catch the football.
Yeah, we know that, but they don't
know that.
I don't
Explain that to me. How do they not know that?
Load management.
Oh, great. Yeah, maybe when they're 1-6. We'll be right back on SportsGrid.
Two favorites are still the two favorites. So for me, it's just whether or not you got Herbert at a better price or if you think there's a better price to get at this point. But I mean, with the way Josh Allen plays and generally Lamar Jackson, it still does appear to be a two-player race. The only thing, obviously, this is an injury league, Adam, and in the NFL, an injury that keeps you out 4 or 5 games, all of a sudden, those odds will shift.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Talk to me. Who are some of the guys? What are the keys for a victory here?
Well, Joe, I mean, we have this one player. I mean, it's like having Tom Brady at quarterback in the Super Bowl. We've got Scotty Scheffler. I think the first key is that, and this is going to sound crazy, but I think we should play him in all 5 matches. I'm just throwing it out there. 15 wins in 2 years. We got to get him out there.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
They know the minutia of game time decisions, when to call timeouts, when the kick, go for 2, and all that other stuff better than the head coaches, because the head coaches aren't watching 30, 35 games like sports fans are between college football and the NFL. All the head coaches are doing are watching game films. They may be watching 30 game films, but they're not watching game management. So the fan does know.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Everything changed at that point. They went and got Jonquel Jones, and they really had that triple threat monster team. That second year they lost in the WNBA Finals, 3-1 against the Las Vegas Aces. Year 3, they finally get over the top hump. You can question whether they should have won the title with that foul call late in Game 5 that sent Breanna Stewart to the foul line.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Back with you right here on SportsGrid. Message just came across my desk. I'm going to pass it along to you.
Go ahead.
Message reads, is Tua good?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, despite that answer, it's 10-0 Dolphins on a 4th down from the 4-yard line.
To Darren Waller.
They go for it. Waller into the end zone. That's your first touchdown score. Can't wait to see those tickets later. 6.5 Dolphins minus 132 total. A little bit of life up to 39.5. What do you make of that decision by Mike McDaniel? I'll be honest with you. I hate it.
Why?
I hate that.
Why did you hate that decision?
Because
you got a team. You're at home. You're in the red zone.
Yep.
Your playmakers are starting to make plays.
Yep.
If you don't get it,
yep.
You pin them inside the 10. What's wrong with that?
I don't know. It didn't jive. It didn't
Mr.
jive with what I
Aggressive
saw.
didn't like that?
I know, usually.
Mr. Analytics?
Didn't work for me there, but it worked for them. It worked for them. 6.5 number. You like the Jets?
I still like the Jets in the game. Again, I think it's good for Justin Field props,
285 money line.
Oof. They get the ball in the second half, too.
People are clicking over 40.5 now. Is this game a rocket ship?
I don't know about the total. I'm always worried about this game slowing down. But I still like the Jets with the points.
How do you feel about first half under 17.5?
That's not bad.
No, it's not.
That's not bad.
It's not. Problem is, if the Jets, let's just say, score a minute left, you got the 2-minute drill with Tyreek and Jalen, and they're starting to eat early.
Yeah. You can get the Jets plus 9.5 in the first half.
I like that.
I'd rather the under.
Okay.
40.5 is the live number here. What do you like live? Fields has 5 passing yards.
I think
he's only thrown the ball once.
Yeah, I mean, how many rush attempts did they have on that first drive? 7?
Oh, more than that.
No.
11.
11 rushing attempts. Oof.
What do you think?
What's his total right now, Fields?
156.5.
Can we get it under 150?
Sure.
We get it under 150. I'm going to jump in game.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Because, again, if they're losing,
they're
going to have to throw.
Okay.
And I still think that I still think on this drive, they could open it up, but assuming, it gets under there somehow, some way, anything under 150, I'd be all in. I have them for 225, but I have an alt at 150 anyway, just in case.
All right, so we'll take a look at those live Fields numbers just to let everybody know it's a Monday night doubleheader on SportsGrid. It's Kevin Walsh, Joe Lisi. We will be joined by Gabriel Morency and Scott Wetzel at the top of the hour. We're going to get their best bets, not just for live action on Dolphins-Jets, but for Cincinnati and Denver, Broncos at home, laying a touchdown plus 7.5 total in that game, similar to this one, 44.5. So we will check in with those guys in 5 minutes' time right here on SportsGrid, and then they will have you covered throughout this game. Please tell me that is that an injury or is that a weather delay? Braylon Allen was injured on the kickoff return.
That's a devastating blow. I mean, you throw him out there on the kickoff. What are we doing? Come on. Throwing him out there to the Wolves on the kick. A guy fumbles a ball. We throw him out to the Wolves on the kickoff?
They did what you wanted. They wanted to get him a touch.
Yeah, but on the kickoff? What are we doing? Throwing him out, hanging him out to dry.
Threw him to the Wolves. Would you run to the Breece Hall numbers? 63.5 now.
Yeah, now just go to ladder it. Oh, that's terrible.
We don't know what it was. We don't know what it was.
Well, I mean, it was being tended to like.
Oh, stop.
I mean, could we give him some smelling salt? Could we get him up? You can't do that anymore, right? The league can't do it. I mean, I hope he's got his own.
Oh my goodness!
What?
I'm sorry. I don't mean. Listen, obviously, it's just I know your reaction on something like that and what that's going to be. So, it gets me a little bit there. Wow. So let's, again, he walked off with the assistance of trainers.
Okay.
So
that's one good sign.
Let him run this first play. Yesterday, the Eagles game, Saquon runs it, comes up, ankle looks like it's hooked.
Yeah.
He goes, I'm fine. This Patula. I'll run him again then if he's fine. Okay. Thanks, KP. We'll hit a break. We're back. Gabe Morency, Scott Wetzel join the show next.